Oh, I thought I would go live for a bit, so you can see what I'm pottering about at. So I hope you can hear me because I put the phone on the mantelpiece. I thought, well, actually, I can put it up there. Why didn't I think about putting it up there before? On the mantelpiece. I don't know I just have to watch I don't knock it though and break the phone if it falls on the hearth. It won't be a very good day if that happens. Well, anyway, so I've been fighting about all day and trying to think of a better way of doing this, and I'm thinking this soft starter thing, it's kind of overkill, really. I mean, I've got two separate pulse circuits running, and do I need two separate circuits, or can't I just amplify the signal that's going to the DN2540? So what I've decided to do is use a PMP and an NPM to amplify the weak signal, because before it was being driven by the actual coils themselves, so the coils were basically triggering that device, and I was using the signal from the coils to actually trigger an active circuit, which was the soft starter. And I must be getting old. Well, I am getting old. I'm 60, like, so years ago I would have probably used a preamp on this anyway. So anyway, I decided forget about the soft starter. It's wasted of time. And look what I've got right now. I don't know if you can see this flashing, but I'm just turning it slowly. Look, that's just a start. So yeah, that's going to work because it will kickstart itself from the using an active circuit. Obviously, if I turn the power off, which is a switch, nothing happens because it's put the switch on. I know it works. So all I have to do now is basically incorporate this circuit into my schematic diagram, and then we can have some fun. Now I'm actually going to start the thing with my batteries, so it's going to be driven by this motor for now. I'm not driving it using a pulse circuit or anything at the moment, but we can see how the circuit behaves basically. You can see how it works. So it works really well. Now you can't see the oscilloscope right now, but I've got the other. Let me just get the phone. Right, now the other oscilloscope, it's not locking right now. It's I'm using my old oscilloscope to monitor the waveform. Let me just get it locking a bit. A bit. Somehow. Well, this is the old oscilloscope. It's not very good. It doesn't lock very well. Anyway, let's speed it up a bit. So we're about 4,000 RPM at the moment. We're actually pushing out. I haven't got my meter on. We're actually. My meter's acting. 210 milliamps right now. So 210 milliamps are going to supercapacitors. And anyway, the circuit works great. Let me just see if I can get a lock on this old oscilloscope of mine again. I need to sort the waveform out a bit beyond delayed circuit anyway. So that's to do with my circuit is not quite tuned properly yet. Yeah, I could hook it up to my new oscilloscope, but I've got that wired up to monitor the coils, so I just want to use my old one to monitor the output waveform. That's good enough for what I want. So when you turn it off, let's I've got too much light on the situation now. Why has it gone really bright? Now if I turn it off now, you'll notice it stays on for a few seconds, and that's fine. Right, I've turned it off. What's going on with the phone? There you go, it goes out. Flipping lag, I hate it. Lag, lag, lag. Anyway, so it stays on for a few seconds, then it goes out. No, I think you missed that because it was lagging out on me. Let's just do it again. Unless you're picking up interference, I don't know. Right, I'll stop it. It's too much light. There you go, and it goes out. That's what we want. That's the kind of thing we want. So yeah, it looks like I'm onto a winner now, because I can start it manually with my hand. Like that. And I don't have to get a drill like some people do and start spinning it up with the electric drill, which is the last thing I want to be doing. Yeah. Right, I'm going to press buttons in a minute. Where's the buttons? Just a minute. I don't want to press them frigging buttons because last time I muted myself. Right, I'm just going to plug the charger back in and stick it back up there so it runs a bit longer. I need to make myself a drink anyway. So hopefully it won't fall down. Anyway, I'm drinking old cold coffee right now. Actually, I won't go yet. So anyway, yeah, I just need to sort this waveform out, because what's happening is because I'm using capacitor decoupling, the capacitor is getting charged slightly one way, so the waveform is misshapen, and I'm getting a bigger rise time. Well, the rise time is over a longer period. But that's okay really, because that's what we want to drive the MOSFET anyway. We want to drive the MOSFET over a longer period, but I want to use the timing circuit of the coils, not the actual circuit itself, to do the timing for me. Because it could pose a problem. Mind you, it might not pose a problem because I'm actually driving it with one coil at the moment, and the actual circuit's going to be using two coils to drive it. And can I actually use two coils to drive this? Yeah, I could do, to test it out. I might have to do that actually. That's probably the next step actually. I probably need to hook up two coils on this to do a proper test. But it's a lot of fight about. Yeah, and I need my other bracket, my other holders and everything. I'd have to fit all these in and mount everything in here. I can't even get to this side because I've got my timing thing, my RPM thing on there. But I could stick them, I can get them in this side. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, so, well, so yeah, I'm just using some generic transistors at the moment from a tray of components when I used to work at the hi-fi shop years ago. These are mostly old, very old transistors. There's some very, very interesting looking ones as well. RCA. What's that one? 38485. That looks brand new, that. It's never been used by the looks of it. The legs are a bit oxidised. Looks like, yeah, it's like one of these. It's like one of those, but with a big heatsink mounted on it. So I've been going through some of the old components I've got in here. Because when you're experimenting, it's always a good idea to experiment with whatever you've got lying around. Because sometimes you get surprised and you think, oh, this is a good transistor, God, it's worked really well. Well, sometimes that's the case. But I really want to use some off-the-shelf generic ones for my circuit board. But I mean, I checked the gain on some of these, and the gains are I've got a PMP in here, and it's got a gain of about 300. Well, it's lower than the BC109, but I couldn't find a PMP that had a fairly high gain. So yeah, it looks amazing. Most of this circuit you can ignore it. Everything that's above it, right? Well, everything that I've covered up with the paper you can ignore, because the only part of the circuit that's relevant is this bit here. All of this is just where I've been sticking my components in, moving them around and just stick them in for where I can get to other components. None of this really matters. This is from a previous circuit out there, and it's all messed up now anyway. So you can ignore all of that over there. Just this bit here. That we're interested in. Let's just give it a tickle again. Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. This thing actually, this MOSFET drive, the Chinese thing I was telling you earlier in the previous video, there was a problem with it. I had to increase the biasing on the gate to ground because it was latching up and staying on all the time. That was kind of crap. It's useless. So I stuck a 15K on the gate to pull it down with it, so it didn't stay latched on all the time. It's just not working properly. Just obviously not very well thought out. It didn't work very well at low voltages. It's supposed to work at high voltages. I presume that's probably why it's got this opto-isolator in here, but it doesn't appear to have been very well thought out as regards the biasing on it, because the damn thing was just staying on. Once it got triggered, it was staying on, and it would work quite happily at low voltage for some weird reason. But on the battery clip, when I put a 4-volt flat battery on here, it was working okay, but as soon as I stick a 9-volt on, it wouldn't work. It was just latching up all the time, staying latched on, and yeah, the waveform was just high all the time. It wasn't going on and off. So that was giving me some problems. But it's sorted out. As you saw the waveform I was just showing you, it's okay now. So I'm not even using that now, am I? That can go up there. I'm not even using that now, so I can go up there out of the way. That link's not being used. You can see. So yeah, this is the thing when you're experimenting, when you're testing out new ideas, new methods and things, you tend to get a lot of clutter that you don't need anymore, and these aren't being used, so they can go up there. Out of the way. I can stick them on the component box later, I suppose. Right, so my problem is the waveform on the top half is too long, so that's basically because it's not being turned off fast enough, and what I've got to turn it off is my NPN transistor, and what appears to be happening is this capacitor is getting charged, it's getting more positively charged than negatively charged. So how do I rectify that? Let's see if I can sort this out. See if I can put this diode between reverse bias this diode so that it's actually between ground this wire goes all the way to that capacitor, so I've got a capacitor that's going to complete the circuit from ground up, so that we've got AC that's going back the other way. Now let's see if that helps. I'm just going to run it and see what the waveform looks like. That looks better. That looks a lot better. Let me just, I'll get the phone in a second. I'm just trying to get the scope to lock now. Right, I just sorted it out with a diode. There you go, much better. So that's my positive pulse is going up, the on time. The duration should be set by the exit coil when, well, the end timer coil. I'm just trying to make sure I've got this on right so I'm not blocking the lens up, because sometimes I put this phone on the stand and it's the stand itself, it blocks the lens, so I'm just making sure. So I've sorted that problem out. The waveform is perfect. All I needed was this diode between ground, wire connected the other way around, so the positive, any reverse positive goes up from ground to the capacitor to complete the circuit, because it's AC. It's an AC signal that's coming in, remember. And that sorted the waveform out. Little things like that. Now let's stop. Now see, this should go out completely this time when I turn it off. It should go off more quickly than previously. Yeah, perfect. It went out almost straight away because there was no, the capacitor was no longer being biased high, and it was staying high for too long. And because it was staying high, the DN2540 was, which when it receives a positive pulse on the gate, it stays on, and as the gate falls down to negative, it turns off. So what was happening was I was having a high voltage building up on this capacitor. Well, not high voltage, just more voltage, on which was biasing the basically it was causing the PNP anyway to stay on longer, and it was causing the gate to stay open, and that LED, now is it still working right? Yay, it works! So now when I get this circuit built, if I use this configuration, I'll be able to basically just give it a flick and it will start, and I won't have to fart about like other people with electric drawers and things like that to get their devices spinning up to speed before they kick in, because this is basically self-starting, because you want to be able to flick it up, start it by your hand. You don't want it to start up. You don't have to have it started up automatically. As soon as you put power to it, you can. So it's advantageous in a situation where the device is in a place where you can't get to it. That's true, but this is experimental, so I'm not really worried about that. And yeah, and it's driving this board, so that's really, really good. Let's power up again. $220 milliamps going out at the moment. 200 milliamps. and we're drawing 920 milliamps on the motor, this thing. Hopefully I can do away with the motor soon. I really look forward to that because it'll be so much quieter without that on there. That motor's really noisy. And that waveform, I really like that waveform. It's much better now. Yeah. Probably see the commutator sparking. Not too bad, can't see it. Right, actually I think I should go. I don't think there's anything else to show you right now, so yeah, thanks for watching.